This video brought to you by our Patreons. Please consider supporting this channel and joining our Patreons at patreon.com/NovaWing24.
Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 11th of April 2021 for another exciting action-packed episode, and let's jump straight into it. This week with release from developer Mag Mexico with their release of their edition of I'm gonna butcher this. Guadalajara International Airport in Mexico. Not a lot to say about this airport. Sort of fairly light on the description from Mag Mexico. Single runway ops for an international airport. But letting the images speak for themselves, I've got to admit that this looks really good, and not a bad price point when it comes to it either. So looking like high detailed GitLif native PBR models throughout all airport buildings and airport layout as it appears in 2021. Highly detailed ground surfaces, updated AFCAD, as I said, reflected in 2021. Volumetric grass and vegetation included, native windsocks and taxi signs utilised throughout, as well as a native use of dynamic lighting. Includes animated radar facilities and wigwag lights. A variety of static aircraft vehicles and jetways are included as well. Not only is the airport and all the airport buildings modelled, also quite a number of the airport surrounding buildings and sort of precinct is modelled in a incredible high detail as well. So I've got to say that this looks really, really good. I'm really impressed by what this looks like so far. I just feel for the tower operators who people park in their basketball court. That's the only thing I feel for. So if you wanted to pick this one up, expand your Latin American destinations with this one coming in for $18 or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Continuing on with airport releases from developer Airwheel Sceneries. So this week their release of Languedagan. I butchered that again, I'm sure. Airport in the Philippines. So this is a airport serving the area of northern Mindao and several cities in that part of the world. Not a lot of information again about this airport. Again, looks like from the screenshot, single runway ops. But I'm gonna say this and say I'm really impressed by this developer. Like, the texture used looks like really high quality textures here, really clean modeling. They're using default combination of default and their own custom jetways. So nice balance there. A lot of really detailed ground color there. It looks like custom. It looks like PBR used throughout as well. High detail ground poly coming throughout here. Ground markings look beautiful. Look really well done. A little confusing, I think, sometimes. But overall, looks really, really good, especially for the price. So this is $6. Like, this is $6, and this is incredibly detailed. So, yeah, I've got to say that. And sorry, I've realized my basketball comment was actually for this scenery, not the last one. My apologies. Yeah, I feel for the crew of the tower with not being able to play basketball because we've got to park there. But either way, like, the attention to detail, the detail that's gone into the add-on here, gone into all the buildings, the ground poly, the ground textures, the clutter. This looks really good, and as I said, for the price, absolutely stunning. So this one's available now for $6 or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Continuing on with airport releases from established developer Orbix. Saw this week the release of Samadan Airport as a new Swiss Alpine airport. So this one is a reboot of a previously released version of this airport for Legacy Sims. Comes out as it's been a full overhaul here now, including full PBR, high detail texturing throughout. All airport buildings have been updated, of course, with the current airport layout. Also includes a variety of custom POIs and custom details outside of the airport surrounds, including the villages of Samadan and St. Moritz, with a variety of custom hotels, churches, and all other things coming in for VFR flies as well. A lot in here for helicopter aficionados as well. Once we get helicopters for MSFS, be interesting to come through here. And coming through for $14 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix. continuing on with scenery releases for quite a fascinating pack. This one from developer SimWorks Studios come out with their pack called Okavango Delta for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, this pack, I will say that now. Okay, so I have known that this pack has been coming for quite a while, and I've got to say that what's been released is amazing. Like, this is nuts, is what has come out here. It really is incredible. So this isn't just an airport pack here. Like, this is so much more than that. So this is almost like what Orbix would have used to have called mini regions. So this is over 9,000 square kilometers of scenery. So this covers the Okavango Delta, which is a wildlife and a reserve area in Africa. This encompasses wetlands and savanna land, including, has been beautifully hand recreated from not just aerial imagery, but they've actually put in a lot of the things that make the area as well. Not only that, there's also, of course, there's a variety of camps and safari camps that sort of operate out of the area, and there's a lot of bush flying that happens out here to be able to service many of these local communities, both keep them in supply, and also be able to operate and sort of do various tours and stuff like that out here. So there's a lot goes on in part of this world. Now, I've been very fortunate, very blessed that I've been traveled through many parts of Africa over the years myself. So just looking at this scenery, looking at the trailer for this scenery, just gave me chills. It looks so amazing. Now, as I said, you get over 9,000 square kilometers of scenery with hand-placed wetlands and objects, including over 12,000 animals are included here. You get 9 airstrips, you get 6 camps are included, all with highly detailed, highly accurate buildings, both internally and externally, with a variety of smaller camps and tour groups dotted throughout the scenery as well. There's also a lot of helipads, again, getting ready for when we get helicopters in the sim. You get 2 bush trips to give you ideas of flying around the Delta, and a custom livery for the default Asobo Cessna 208 Grand Caravan as well. Now, not only the thing about this one as well, though, is that this is really very much a bush pilot's dream. If you're, and I'm just going to call it and say, if you only fly flight sims to fly tube liners, you're not going to be interested in this at all. But if you want to get down and dirty, you want to be able to explore the world, especially what Flight Simulator can really do, which is take us on a journey to places that we are unable to go to, especially at the moment. This is a scenery pack you really want to pick up. Like, this looks absolutely amazing, and I just think there's a lot of stories that are happening inside here as well. Now, the bush trips that are included are designed to give you ideas. They're not necessarily designed to sort of show off every feature that this scenery has to offer, because the developers have said, there is a lot that is hidden in this scenery pack for you to be able to discover. So I hopefully you will be able to partake and enjoy and explore the scenery, because the bush trips that are there to give you ideas on how to explore and look for things yourself. And I really hope that you do partake of this and give it a crack, because I think this looks amazing. So this pack, with all of its things and everything that it comes with, is available now directly from SimWorks Studios, coming in for $28 or your original equivalent, available now from SimWorks Studios directly. Moving on to another scenery release, this time from a new developer. Well, not really new developer. They've changed their name. So from Canadian Flight Sim Studios. So previously they were known as Canada for X-Plane, and they've sort of rebranded themselves and launched some new content. And they've done a double release this week, releasing the Delta Heritage Air Park. They've released that one for both Microsoft Flight Simulator and also for X-Plane 11 as well. So this is a small GA airport in Vancouver, in the Vancouver area of Canada on the Pacific Northwest. And this airport includes accurate airport data as appears in 2021, custom airport models for all airport buildings, and a variety of ground clutter as well, full support for HDR lighting, corrected terrain mesh, and a variety of landmark and iconic location markers nearby as well. The X-Plane 11 version is exactly the same, but doesn't have a custom terrain mesh, so apparently the terrain mesh that ships with X-Plane 11 is fine for that one. Now, what's interesting for this one is they're coming in for about $12 each, these ones, or alternatively, for $15, you can pick up the two together. However, if you want to take advantage of the price to get them both together, you have to do that before you buy one, because the dual pack, you can't upgrade to the double pack later on. It appears, from at least from what their website shows. So just bear that in mind. If you are someone who swings between sims, you may want to pick up both together. Otherwise, there you go. Picking available now from Canadian Flight Sim Studios directly. Continuing on with scenery releases this week from a developer Footage Design. So this week, the release of their rendition of Ordes Airfield in Spain. Now, I'm going to be the first to admit here that originally I didn't think a great deal of this add-on, until I looked a bit closer, and I'm a little more impressed now. So this is a small GA grass strip operating in Spain. What's interesting about it is that it has there is a definitive slope on the runway as well. So if you're landing on 3-4, there is you are literally flying uphill. So it's a dual runway. So it's you have a crosswind runway as well for this one. So two runways, two grass strip runways available with this airfield. So small GA, custom airport layout as it appears in 2021, all the usual stuff. But what really got me, though, was the use of the terrain mesh, use of the sloped runways and the sort of undulating terrain, but the capturing that fairly almost extreme slope that this airport has. But not only that, the way they've done the grass as well, and actually the model the building. So I've got to admit that all that together, a lot of work went into that one, and coming in for $7 for a GA airfield is pretty good price point. I mean, it's basic, but a lot of work's gone into this as well. And I think this developer has if they keep going in this vein, I think they have a strong future in front of them. So there you go. So this one is available for, as I said, for $7 or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Continuing on with aircraft releases from developer MP Sceneries. So they saw this week their release of Costa Rica Airport in Brazil. Single runway ops, couple of buildings, not much to say about this one. $7. If I had, for the same price point, they're very similar. I mean, the model texturing is done really, really well. Ground poly looks good. Looks like they've just used the default aerial imagery, but not loading looks good. So yeah, I can't complain. Not bad. Available now from Sim Market. And continuing on with MSFS releases, with a double release from Tabaret this week of a couple of things that I have mixed thoughts about. That quite frankly, I think that I thought this was done in the sim already, so I'm curious about this. So this week we saw the release from Tabaret of USA VFR radio and TV masts and VFR cellular towers. Basically what they've done is they've got the access to the FCC's database of every FM transmission tower, TV tower and cell phone tower in the United States, including so all 50 states plus Puerto Rico and American Samoa, and they put them in the sim. So on one level, I'm really happy that they're in the sim. On another level, I thought it's kind of a bit of a shame that they're not already in there from the base sim. I think it would be nice to see those in the base sim. So, hey, Asobo, that would be a cool thing to add in because that information is available. So, yeah, can you add that in, please? Okay, thanks, bye. Otherwise, I just have a couple of, I guess my only other thing about this one from Tabaret is that I know there are masts and TV towers, antennas, and cell towers already in the sim, at least some of them are. So I'm just kind of I'm curious, does it recognize when they're already in there? Does it then screen those ones out? Do you have to manually exclude those? Are you going to get double ups? And the fact that it only seems to have one or maybe two models of transmission towers and only a single model of a cell tower. I just feel that is going to take away as much as it adds in. That's all. And cell towers don't look like that cell tower anymore. They don't. So just as I said, I've got a mixed feelings thought about it. I think on one way it's great, especially for someone like myself who's a low and slow flyer or low and fast, where avoidance of such towers is actually really important, and seeing them does add a lot to my experience. It's just sort of, I'm just sort of wondering, how well is the execution? I'm curious. But anyway, so either way, if you want to pick either of these packs up, they're available for $12 each, available now from Sim Market. Continuing on with a release to serve as a gateway into legacy sims this week from developer Malaysian Flight Sim Group. Guys, I love your work, but sometimes I think we need to accept the past as the past. Okay, so Malaysian Flight Sim Group has released their latest product, which is Karatha Airport in Western Australia, with an up-to-date AFCAD as it appears in 2021. But not only have they released the airport for MSFS, they've released it for FS9, FSX, and prepared in all of their versions, all the way through to MSFS. And all for, admittedly, for one low price of $15, so you get one across all sims, and that's great. But I look at it and go, can we not accept that FS9 is now 17 years ago? Can we accept that it's 17 years ago and that we can probably... We've moved on? I mean, at the same time, it also makes me happy that somebody's still releasing content for it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, well, I think maybe we should start moving on. Maybe they could then devote their time to focusing on improving maybe the FSX quality or making the MSFS one look even better. But there you go. As I said, either way, airport layout looks pretty good. Does have photoreal terrain available for the legacy sims. Includes SOD windsocks for F6 and prepared, dynamic lighting for prepared V4 and V5, compatible with add-on AI traffics for the ESP sims. However, it is apparently not tested and is no guarantee of compatibility with Orbix content. So there you go. If you want to pick this one, as I said, if you want to pick this one up, coming in for $15 or original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. All right, and that served as the perfect segue into releases for the ESP sims this week. So from developer MLD Scenery, saw this week their latest release of their rendition of Timasora Trianian Vuya International Airport in Romania. Right. Not much to say about this one. Otherwise, it looks pretty good. I've got to admit that it looks good. The airport layout looks as it appears from what it says here. Airport layout as it appears in 2021. Photoreal, I guess I'm being spoiled by MSFS these days, but otherwise photoreal, I suppose it's okay for the prepared V4 and V5. Airport buildings, all accurately modelled. High definition textures, ground clutter used throughout. Full support for a variety of realistic nighttime effects with custom taxi lights and custom dynamic lighting throughout as well. Included full support for rain and snow effects and designed to blend in with Orbix content as well. So you can pick this one up for $18 or original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. And another prepared V4 and V5 release from Simogd this week. So this week, the release of their latest carrier of HMS Illustrious, or R06, with the goalkeeper CWS on the bow. Variety of custom deck layouts included as well. Includes a full air wing for HMS Illustrious, and also support fleet as well, including 2 Type 23 frigates. Full animated crew included as well. Animated radar, crew, deck elevators, night lighting, day lighting is also included as well. Search and rescue helicopter, and a Type 23 and Type 42 frigates are both included as well. Include full support for animations, which you can control and set from a little handy dock, much like the SimWorks Studios carriers do as well. The only thing that I kind of point out to this one is that the model of the Sea King, that's the search and rescue helicopter, that could be better. That's awful. Just straight up, it's awful. But I mean, it's not a bad kit. It's a bit pricey though. It's coming in at $34 or original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Another release from developer PaintSim this week saw the release this week of their texture set for the Virtual Coles Airbus A220-100 with their release of 4 new texture sets for that. So a texture set included for Egypt Air Express, JetBlue Airways, Korean Air, and KLM, all in 4K resolution, coming in at $15 or original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. And in another release from PaintSim this week, this is funny enough, actually, another developer releasing for SFS9. This one called, I thought this was FSX. Actually, no, it's FS9. So this is a HD texture pack for the Wilco Airbus A330-300s for FS9, not for FSX, FS9, and gives 4 texture sets, 2 for the A330-300 with the Rolls-Royce engines, Egypt Air and Oman Air, and 2 for the A330-300 with the General Electric engines in the forms of Malaysian Airlines and KLM. And this pack is coming in for $12 or original equivalent, available now from Sim Markets. Moving out of the ESP Sims and moving into the world of X-Plane, I saw this week release from a developer AOA Simulations of their rendition of the F-22A Raptor. So it's always interesting seeing renditions of Raptors because it's very difficult to do an accurate, in inverted quotes here, rendition of some aircraft that is basically still top secret. Either way, so AOA seem to have done a pretty good job looking at it so far, though. It includes a high accurate 3D external model with every door and control surface fully animated. F-22 unique flight control actions accurately reproduced, as accurately as you can for a classified aircraft. Every switch and control in the detailed 3D cockpit works. Full ground support equivalent included as well. 4K PBR textures included throughout. Full VR support, including support for cockpit control manipulators as well. Professional FMOD sound package included as well, with a variety of various effects in there as well. Flight model includes full support for pitch vectoring engine nozzles, and carefree handling to any AOA with full Super Cruise support as well. Includes 3 main weapon systems models, including air-to-air, air-to-ground, and external fuel tank model options. At least the air-to-air weapons from the promo video look to be fully operational in the sim as well, which is kind of interesting. Also includes fully functioning auto GCAS system, power compensation, autopilot, auto throttle mode, and a basic helmet-mounted target queuing system, as well as the Raptor HUD, and full support for the Avitab tablet as well. And this was coming in for $40 or original equivalent, available now from explain.org. In a scenery release for X-Plane 11 is from developer Northern Sky Studios. So this week their release of Molokai and Kalapaupa airports in Hawaii. So these 2 airports are small little island airports for regional airports, which are both classed as part of essential air services, providing subsidized scheduled passenger services throughout the Hawaiian island chain. Include highly detailed rendition of the airports as they appear, I think, around 2020, though the airports, to be honest, don't change much over there, very much at all. Include airport objects, vehicles, and all airport buildings modeled. Custom textures done for taxiways, runways, and aprons. Includes ortho imagery for the surrounding area for download as well as full support for high definition textures, full support for night lighting effects, and air traffic, World Traffic 3 compatible as well, along with a custom terrain, supports for both default and custom terrain mesh as well. And this pick is coming in for $20 or original equivalent, available now from explain.org. And rounding out the X-Plane releases this week from developer Boundless, saw this week their rendition of Hull Infirmary Helipad, which is the rendition of the Royal Hull Hospital and the helipad that supports aeromedical evacuations into that hospital. Includes 5cm ortho imagery for the hospital and surrounding area, custom HD UK style traffic, and full HD night lighting and traffic lighting and emergency lighting for the hospital and surrounding areas. Includes custom houses and housing models, as well as 4K PBR texturing done throughout as well. And you can pick this one up for $7 or original equivalent, available now from explain.org. Moving out of Flight Sim and moving into, well, Flight Sim of a different kind this week. I saw with the releases this week for Tower 3D and Tower 3D Pro. Saw this week release of the latest airport for these tower simulators. And this week, seeing the release of Beijing Daxing International Airport. Beijing's latest international airport and the largest single airport building airport in the world, I understand, which has been nicknamed the Starfish because of its design. Not much to say about it, otherwise it's adding into your Tower 3D Pro experience. Other than that, coming in for $10 or original equivalent, available now from Field Air or from Steam, available now. Moving out of the aviation world, moving into the permanent way for Train Sim World 2. So this week, the release of the Clinchfield Railroad, Elkhorn to Dante route. This is one of the most famous routes in America's expeditionary railroads, sometimes referred to as the Rio Grande of the East because of its spectacular scenery and challenging mountain railroading. Now, this particular rendition includes 37 miles of route between Elkhorn City, Kentucky, and Dante in Virginia. Also includes the 5-mile Hiassay branch, 14-mile Fremont branch, and 2-mile McClure Spur and 6-mile Nora Spur as well. Includes a variety of coal loading facilities, as well as including 2 diesel locomotives, the CRR F7A and B, and the SD40 locomotives. Includes a variety of rolling stock, including 70-ton and 100-ton coal hoppers, box and refrigerated cars, and caboose livery and the CRR liveries as well. Includes this extensive 24-hour timetable, training modules, and 5 detailed and engaging scenarios all included as well. And this one's coming in at $30 or your original equivalent, available now. Sticking with trains, but moving into the the ever-present train simulator. So this week, the latest route add-on for them, the Giselbahn-Salfeden-Wogel route add-on. So this is an Austrian route add-on of an 80-kilometer route add-in going through a mountainous grades through the Austrian Alps. Now, this includes a variety of career scenarios, includes an 80-kilometer or 50-mile route between Saalfelden and Wogel through the Austrian Alps. Includes 20 train stations, the OBB's 1016 locomotive in the OBB red livery, a variety of coaches and rolling stock, including additional AI rolling stock as well, along with 10 career scenarios are included as well. And this one's coming in for $40 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And rounding out the NovaWrap this week with the release for Euro Truck Simulator 2 with their latest scenery with Iberia. So for those who may not know what Iberia is the name given to the peninsula, which includes the nations of Portugal and Spain. So this is the Iberian Peninsula. Of course, most people know there's no way, it doesn't really have any other name, really, it just doesn't. But either way, what's interesting about the Iberian Peninsula is the climate that it has, is that it is colloquially has what's known as Europe's only desert, or the Tabernas Desert, and it has more of a subtropical and desert terrain as opposed to the rolling green hills that the rest of Europe does. And what is interesting as well is that many Western films, instead of being that are set in America, were actually filmed in Spain rather than filmed in America. So there you go, random thing for that one. Now this includes, so pretty much the entirety of the Iberian Peninsula has been modelled, including all major cities. Also connects to the rest of Europe both by road and by sea, coming to a variety of busy ports throughout the Iberian Peninsula as well. Includes many of the area's landmarks, including the Guadanian International Bridge, and a variety of other content through there as well. Includes a variety of mountainous regions with a variety of other things through there, and including the Rock of Gibraltar. Now, what's interesting though is that I didn't see Gibraltar itself actually as a destination here, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure that's political or not, because something Spanish feelings towards Gibraltar, but it's interesting. But you do get to see the Rock of Gibraltar on the other side of the bay from the coastal city of Algeciras. So could be interesting. Anyway, all right, if you want to pick this one up and expand your truck simulation experience, you can pick this one up for $18 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And with that, folks, that rounds out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter and on Twitch. Just search NovaWing24. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.